if you care about Old Vines and the growers, we'd love you to come and join and help us shape the organisation and the agenda. And what we really need is a group of passionate regional coordinators to help communicate, gather stories, and find allies and good producers locally. That's the best way that we found to discover the vineyards. It's all started. I tell you, I cannot do this on my own. I'm already slightly overwhelmed. So if you're interested in doing that, please visit the website, oldvines.org. There's information on how to get involved. We want to hold tastings of really great old vine wine. And the reason we want to do this is because we found that there's no concept of what it means. So we want to put together a range of old vine wine systems. And we want to know their difference, how they differ in quality, how they reflect the heritage of the region, grapevine diversity, and also the stories of regenerative agriculture. And then finally, from me, at least, what I would really call on is for you to give me your stories of great old vineyards. And it's through the stories that we can market. Marketing is all about stories. And so please, what we want really is kind of a group of almost chroniclers. If you've come across great old vine work in your region, whether it's a grower or someone working with growers of old vines, please get in touch. And on that, actually, I'm really pleased to say that we will be partnering with Jancis Robinson, and Jancis Robinson's next wine writing competition, which will be launched in the spring, is going to be on the theme of old vines. So Jancis has been really championing old vines since at least 2010. And so her entire theme for the Jancis Robinson wine writing competition will be on old vines. And we will actually be offering a prize, a very particular prize, which is that for any kind of entry, which is championing and talking about and telling the story of an old vineyard that needs help, that needs to be brought to market, we will actually partner with that vineyard to help bring it to market and to run a crowdfunding campaign. So that information is going to be up on Jancis's site on Tuesday. And so that's a really powerful extension of stories. So we're really excited about that. At this stage, I'd like to hand over to Leo, who's basically the most badass wine marketer I've ever met. He's sold a lot of really interesting wine, and he's sold a lot of spirits, and he's been really instrumental in helping shape this program to make a difference, because it's all about making an economic difference. So over to Leo. I'll exit stage left.
Thank you, Sarah. So listen, I'm not going to repeat what Sarah's just said. I just want to make a few very brief comments. The first one is that I'm in this to make a difference, and I know that a lot of you are as well. It's really important that we move, we use the conference as a base to leverage change in the industry, but actually in 5 years' time, we're going to change the global economics of old vines. And the way to do that is to drive demand, first from consumers, then back through the trade, then back through the cooperatives and the producers. And to do that, we have to create words, we have to create stories, we have to create a category. So number one, the company is limited by guarantee. We have members, we don't have shareholders. Please do join us to shape how we do this. And I, Sarah, and Alan will ensure that we make a real impact as a group. Secondarily, we're then reaching out to the four big audiences we need to talk to, which are wine lovers, the media, the trade, and the money. And so on the wine lovers, we're going to be doing the tastings globally in all the major cities, as Sarah has been saying, trying to make the point that old vines really do deliver a qualitative difference, and then use that as a platform for telling the story of holistic farming that we've been discussing today. And then the second point is the media, led by the sommeliers. We need people to tell those stories so that it becomes resonant. We need your stories in order to do that. And the third point is the trade. And here's the real pitch of it. I need more people like myself who are trade-based to join in and start to really shape the category for the future. I was delighted to see Stephanie Isles' comment in today about her father's retail shop in Sydney. Because Stephanie, you're thinking about the way that we as the front end in front of consumers can actually present the concept of old vines in a positive way, and how that can become a really interesting avenue for telling winemakers' stories. And then the last is the money. And, you know, finance loves wine, and what we are doing needs finance. So I will be driving particularly the campaign to raise funds, both for the most important vineyards at risk, but also in general to raise the profile of the industry. On that note, perhaps I could hand over to Alun, our partner of many years. And Alun, could you talk a little bit about the next conference, please? No?
Yes, indeed. I'm not on the screen, I think, at the moment. But,
there we are. Yes, you are.
Hello, everybody. I'm sure there's quite a lot of people that I know who are. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Sarah. It's been a very interesting 2 days because we've had 2 of these 3-hour conferences. And the plan is to do this conference every quarter. So the next one is already scheduled for June. And it's going to talk about regional regeneration and the value of old vines. We want to look at how regional coordination can increase consumer awareness of old vines and raise the value of it and raise the profile of a region as well. So we're going to be looking at various regions, some of them established regions such as the Barossa Valley in Australia. We'll be looking at Chile. And we're also going to go down to some emerging regions as well and show how old vines can help to, again, be leveraged to grow the awareness of those countries and their wine heritage, their wine history. So in South America, for example, countries which are not as well known on the global stage, like Bolivia, Uruguay, Peru, and see what we can do, what we can find there. And we'll also be looking at how old vines can be revitalized, and old vineyard regions can be revitalized, and how you can improve areas which were planted with vines but have been either neglected or have simply gone out of fashion. So by restoring some old grape varieties, by bringing in massal selection to replant some old vineyards. So we can be looking at a good example would be in Georgia, not the American state, but the old Soviet Republic, where you've got these Vadzia terraces at 1,000 meters close to the Turkish border, and looking at what's being done. There's some very exciting work being done there, for example, to restore some of the old vines there. So we'll be inviting contributions from people. Everybody who wishes to make a contribution, be most welcome. And we very much look forward to the next conference.